Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Today's a big day. I got my San Francisco 49ers going up against the New York Giants. Every game from here on out almost is like an elimination game for the San Francisco 49ers, so I'm going to be really into that one. Thought I would crank out a video hyping up the upcoming WWE Survivor Series. Hadn't talked about this match in a good little bit of a while because honestly, in my mind, it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. Coming off the end of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, where Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were the main event of the show, we got the big entrance of Bray Wyatt making his huge emergence back into the WWE. Basically, he took almost a month off after what was the last feud that Bray Wyatt was in? Was he coming out of the Jericho matches? Bray Wyatt, to me, honestly, is I don't want to call him a big disappointment because that's pretty much too big of a knock that I want to give this guy. But honestly, to me, he just hasn't lived up to the hype that I think a lot of people gave this guy. And he's almost chilled off Dean Ambrose to the point of him just sort of being another guy. If you think how hot Dean Ambrose was, he actually got the main event, his first pay-per-view last month. People were actually, drawing lines comparing him to the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. And now here he is in this feud with Bray Wyatt, and he's just some sort of a mid-card match. You don't see anybody really demanding to see a main event for Dean Ambrose again. I think everybody knows that the Authority versus Team Cena is going to be the main event of Survivor Series. No one's even really putting up a fight, saying that Dean Ambrose is the future of the WWE. He needs to be in that spot no matter what he's in. I know that, because of last Monday night during the European tour, basically, they weren't able to have Wyatt and Ambrose on the show in a wrestling capacity because they were at a different show, as they were on the B team that night, main eventing the house show. But this match is just chilled out to me. I mean, there's nothing really going on for it. I was really thinking that basically you could build up the fact that, Ambrose got the main event his first pay-per-view, and that was ruined for him because his match against Seth Rollins didn't get a finish because the lights went out, the lantern was placed there, the hologram popped up, and next thing you know, Wyatt was laying him out, and you would think that, Ambrose would be going out for blood because he was at a point where we got to see Rollins versus Ambrose in two pay-per-view brawls where they weren't even matches. Just basically, we had the one where basically Triple H canceled the match because he wanted to have Seth Rollins saved in order to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and that was sort of like the plan for them moving forward, and him having a match against Ambrose wasn't going to be able to do that because he thought that Ambrose was unstable, so he basically threw him out, and then we had the attack out in the parking lot, and then we also had where he returned because the match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns was canceled. They brought Seth back early. They fought all around the arena. The bell never rang. It was never a real match. We got to have their SummerSlam match, which I can't remember if it had a finish as well. That was the lumberjack match. Guys were fighting all over the arena. And then we have the Hell in the Cell, which is supposed to be the end-all, be-all of all feuds. And next thing you know, these guys are just sort of the match is over and who cares. But, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they're going to go on and they're going to have a future in the WWE. They're going to have a war of 1,000 matches. So, I don't think anybody's really crying there was no finish to this match because we know this feud's going to be picked up again. And, of course, everybody can remember about the big rumors from last year is that in 2015, the Shield is going to reunite. Like, WWE, they can't even write a script for Monday Night Raw and stick to it, but they're going to have these plans for a year and a half down the road. The Shield is going to reunite and be a force in the WWE once again. I have no doubt in my mind that much like the NWO, the Shield, as long as all three guys, they look like they're big pieces of the WWE in the future, they're going to reunite. But no way in the world I think that WWE has a date on a calendar that this is when they're going to reunite and lead to some sort of a big Survivor Series or SummerSlam match a year and a half down the road when they can't plan anything out. It's just funny to me how he basically, Ambrose last month seemed to be the best thing since sliced bread in wrestling, and he was going to be the guy that saved everything. Now he's into this thing with Bray. After being gone for a little bit, not being on the shows. Of course, they are running the promos where basically he was setting his team free. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan now are, just sort of freaks on the outside. Luke Harper looks like he might be joining the Authorities tag team match for the Survivor Series. Eric Rowan is sort of stalking Natalya on Monday Night Raw, and now Bray is just sort of free to fight his own fight. And the one thing about Bray is that he needed his guys in almost every battle he was in. It was Luke Harper and Eric Rowan on the outside during the John Cena cage matches that made it where John Cena didn't want to leave. That was the only reason why the match would continue, because Cena would climb to the top and then he would be scared to jump out because he was scared that Eric Rowan was going to beat him up on the outside, and so he would have to stay in the match and continue it. I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense to me either. Let me know if you guys are connecting with this match, because it's not really bonding with me that much. But Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, do you guys have faith in this to be a good match at the pay-per-view? Is it a match that you just don't even really care about? If you go back to the SummerSlam show, it was Bray Wyatt against Chris Jericho, where Miguel put his head down during the match and took a nap, and I took a picture of it and posted it up on Twitter, and it was a joke of a picture, but honestly, it wasn't. That was a match that I don't think anybody ever really connected with. It was a surprise at the pay-per-view before. Everybody thought that Jericho was going to be coming in and just putting somebody over, and Jericho walked out with the win. So I think everybody looked at SummerSlam as this is just the even booking. I guess they call it even Steven booking. And Bray Wyatt was going to get the win back against Chris Jericho. Everybody saw it coming, and it was just that match that if you needed to go to the bathroom, this is the time to go. If you need popcorn, this is the time to go get it. Maybe go get some nachos or a hot dog. It was the match that you just could have missed at SummerSlam, because it just wasn't anything that was going to be that big. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll be looking forward to seeing your comments below. See you later. Hopefully the 49ers get a big win against the Giants today.